Hey everyone! If you love planting crops, raising animals, and building your dream farm, then you're in the right place. Today, we're counting down the top 15 best farming games you can play on your Nintendo Switch in 2025. Whether you're looking for something relaxing or packed with adventure, this list has something for every farming fan. Let's get into it. Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town puts you in the role of someone who inherits their grandfather's old farm in a rundown town that needs serious help. You start with an overgrown plot of land filled with trees, rocks, and debris that you'll need to clear out before you can even think about planting anything. The gameplay revolves around the classic farming loop of tilling soil, planting seeds, watering crops, and harvesting them for profit. But it adds a strong crafting and building element where you gather materials to create makers that process your raw goods into higher value items. You can raise chickens, cows, sheep, and more exotic animals as you expand your farm, and the town itself grows based on your progress with new shops and residents moving in. The game runs on a day-night cycle where managing your stamina is important since every action drains your energy bar. There's also romance options with marriage candidates in town, seasonal festivals to participate in, and mines to explore for rare materials. The updated version runs much smoother than launch with faster loading times and improved performance, making the daily routine of farm life feel more satisfying as you slowly transform the wilderness into a thriving agricultural paradise. Animal Crossing New Horizons isn't a traditional farming game, but it scratches that same creative itch as you develop your own deserted island from scratch. The game starts with you taking Tom Nook's getaway package and arriving on a completely empty island with just a tent and a few basic tools. Unlike other farming games, there's no real story to follow. You create your own narrative by designing your island exactly how you want it. The core gameplay involves gathering resources, like wood, stone, and iron, crafting furniture and tools, catching bugs and fish to donate to the museum or sell for bells, the in-game currency, and planting trees and flowers to beautify your island. The big hook is the real-time clock system, where the game follows your actual time and seasons, so events and activities change throughout the year. You can terraform your island by reshaping cliffs and rivers, place furniture both indoors and outdoors, and invite animal villagers to live on your island, each with their own personality. The customization is incredibly deep, with thousands of furniture items and clothing options, plus the ability to create custom designs for almost anything. Disney Dreamlight Valley combines farming simulation with Disney magic as you restore a once vibrant village that's been corrupted by a mysterious force called the Forgetting. You play as a customizable character who returns to the valley and discovers that classic Disney and Pixar characters like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, and Elsa have lost their memories and need your help. The farming mechanics are straightforward. You plant crops in different biomes, harvest them, and use the produce for cooking recipes or to complete quests for the various Disney characters living in the valley. Each character has their own friendship questline that unlocks new areas, features, and abilities, so there's always something new to discover. You'll spend time mining for gems, fishing in various spots, cooking elaborate meals using ingredients you've grown or gathered, and decorating both the valley and the interiors of your house and the characters' homes. The game cleverly integrates its life sim elements with light exploration and puzzle solving as you clear away the magical thorns blocking new areas. Regular, free updates continue to add new characters, realms to explore, pocket dimensions themed around specific Disney movies, and seasonal events.
Grab your royal watering can and water your lovingly grown garden. The more attention you give to your garden, the more bountiful it will be. Don't those vegetables look delicious? And if they make you hungry, you're in luck. Remy will help you make the best of the ingredients you've gathered along your travels. And voila!
Fae Farm takes the cozy farming formula and adds a fantasy twist with magic, dungeons, and adorable Fae creatures to befriend. You arrive in the magical land of Azoria to start a new life farming, but you quickly discover there's a deeper mystery about why the local Fae dungeons are becoming dangerous and corrupted. The farming system feels familiar, with seasonal crops to plant and harvest, animals to care for, and resources to gather. But it stands out with its potion brewing and spellcrafting systems that use your crops and dungeon finds as ingredients. You'll explore procedurally generated dungeons filled with monsters to fight, puzzles to solve, and valuable materials to collect, which you then bring back to improve your farm and craft better equipment. The magic system lets you unlock spells that help both in combat and on your farm, like a spell that waters multiple crops at once. Character customization is excellent, with tons of options for your appearance and clothing. And there's full multiplayer support, so up to 4 friends can farm and explore dungeons together. The game has a charming storybook art style, with pastel colors and whimsical character designs.
Harvest Moon One World shakes up the traditional formula by having you travel across different regions of the world, instead of staying on a single farm. The story begins in a world where crops have mysteriously disappeared, and you're tasked with finding the harvest goddess and restoring plants to the land. You'll visit 5 distinct areas, including tropical beaches, desert oases, and snowy mountains, each with unique crops that can only grow in specific climates initially. The innovation here is the Harvest Wisps system. You collect these magical spirits throughout your journey, and they unlock new crop seeds that you can then adapt to grow in different environments, encouraging experimentation. Your farm is actually portable in a sense, because you can set up smaller farming plots in each region, rather than maintaining one massive farm. You raise the usual farm animals, like cows and chickens, but you also have a horse that you can ride to traverse the large maps more quickly, and you can even tame wild animals you encounter. There are 10 marriage candidates with their own backstories and requirements to win their hearts.
Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life is a remake of the beloved classic that follows your character's entire life journey, from starting a farm to eventually raising a family. You inherit a small farm in the peaceful, forgotten valley, and must decide how to develop it over the course of multiple in-game years that pass much faster than typical farming games. The unique hook is that time actually progresses meaningfully. Your character ages, gets married, has a child who grows up, and you see the town and its residents change over the decades. The farming is more relaxed than some other entries, focusing on breeding hybrid crops by planting different varieties near each other, and raising animals with unique traits through careful breeding programs. You can focus on crops, animals, or a mix of both, and there's no pressure to min-max every season, since the game spans such a long timeline. The emphasis is really on relationships and life simulation, with marriage options that lead to different family dynamics, and a child whose interest and career path you can influence through your interactions. Each season only lasts 10 days, so years fly by, giving the game a contemplative quality as you watch your legacy unfold.
Stardew Valley is the indie phenomenon that revitalized the farming sim genre, and it remains one of the best examples of the formula done right. You inherit your grandfather's old farm in Stardew Valley after burning out from corporate life,
and you arrive to find the property completely overgrown and the nearby town struggling economically. The gameplay loop is incredibly satisfying. You clear your land, plant seasonal crops, raise animals, explore mines filled with monsters and valuable ores, fish in various locations, forage for wild items, and build relationships with the townsfolk. Each villager has a detailed story and schedule, making the town feel genuinely alive, and there are 12 romance options with unique cutscenes and storylines. The game respects your time with no real fail states, letting you progress at your own pace, whether you want to focus on farming profits, combat in the mines, fishing mastery, or social relationships. There's a deeper narrative involving the magical Junimos and a corrupted corporation threatening the valley, which you can address through community center bundles or other paths. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, brings the series' signature blend of farming and action RPG combat to a Japanese-inspired setting for the first time. You play as a mysterious amnesiac who arrives in the eastern land of Azuma and discovers you have a connection to powerful earth spirits and ancient guardians that protect the realm. The farming works similarly to previous Rune Factory games, where you till fields, plant seeds, water crops, and harvest them, but you can also tame monsters you defeat in dungeons to help with farm work or fight alongside you. The combat is real-time action, where you can use swords, spears, magic, or even farming tools as weapons to battle through dungeons filled with increasingly tough enemies and bosses. Each dungeon is themed around different environments and seasons, affecting what crops and resources you'll find. The game introduces the Seasonal Spirit system, where you work with guardian deities to restore balance to the land, which ties directly into both the story and gameplay mechanics. You can forge weapons and craft items using materials from both farming and dungeon exploration, creating a loop where both activities support each other. Big Farm Story takes a more whimsical and fairy tale approach to farming, where you help rebuild a magical farm that's fallen into disrepair and uncover the mysteries surrounding it. You arrive as a new farmer and discover the land is connected to storybook magic, with characters and elements from classic fairy tales woven into the world around you. The farming mechanics cover all the basics, with crops to plant and harvest, animals to raise, and products to process. But it adds an emphasis on crafting decorative items and completing orders for the fairy tale characters who visit your farm. The game has a strong progression system where fulfilling requests and completing quests unlocks new areas of your farm, new crops, animals, and crafting recipes. There's a pleasant loop of production chains where basic crops feed animals, animal products get processed into goods, and those goods complete orders for rewards that let you expand further. The art style is particularly charming, with a storybook aesthetic that feels like a living children's illustration. You'll encounter familiar fairy tale characters who need your help, which drives the narrative forward while giving context to your farming activities. Farm together. This isn't a story-driven experience. Instead, it's a pure farming sandbox where you create and expand your dream farm with virtually no limitations. You start with a small plot and gradually unlock hundreds of crops, trees, animals, and decorative objects through leveling up and completing achievements, with the variety far exceeding most farming games. The genius design choice is the real-time growth system, where crops and trees continue to mature based on actual time passing, not just in-game time. So you can plant something that takes 72 real hours to grow, turn off your game, and come back 3 days later to harvest it. This removes the pressure of daily maintenance, while still rewarding regular check-ins. You can customize your farm layout however you want, with roads, fences, buildings, decorations, and seasonal items, essentially creating a massive agricultural theme park. The game supports drop-in multiplayer, where friends can visit your farm and help with tasks, or you can visit theirs, creating a casual social experience.
Harvest Moon, The Winds of Anthos brings back the classic farming experience with a focus on exploration and restoring a world affected by natural disaster. The story starts with the harvest goddess and her sprites being scattered across the land after a massive eruption, and your task with traveling to different villages to bring them back and revive the dying land. You'll plant crops, raise animals, and build relationships with villagers across multiple distinct areas, rather than staying in one location. The game introduces harvest wisps that you collect during exploration, which unlock new seeds and allow you to grow crops in different climates and regions. You can ride your horse to travel between areas quickly, and there's a good variety of animals to raise, including standard farm animals and some more exotic creatures. The romance system lets you court marriage candidates from different villages, and there are seasonal festivals in each region. The gameplay loop involves managing your farm while also exploring to find new sprites and wisps, which keeps things from getting repetitive. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, takes the farming sim formula and blends it with a full RPG, where you can switch between different job classes and live multiple lives in one game. The story follows your customizable character as they meet a mysterious girl who has the power to manipulate time, and together you uncover secrets about the world while living out various careers. You're not walked into just farming. You can be a farmer, a blacksmith, a warrior, a cook, or any of the other life classes, and you can switch between them freely. The farming mechanics are solid, with crops to plant and harvest, but you can also go mining for ores, chop trees for lumber, fight monsters in real-time combat, or fish in various locations, depending on which life you're currently pursuing. Each life has its own progression system, with ranks to climb and unique abilities to unlock. The world is large and full of characters to meet, quests to complete, and areas to explore. You gather materials from one life to support another, creating an interconnected system where everything you do matters. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town is a full remake of one of the most beloved entries in the franchise, bringing back the classic Mineral Town experience with modern improvements. You inherit a rundown farm from your grandfather and move to the small countryside town where you spent summers as a child, and your goal is to restore the farm to its former glory while becoming part of the community. The farming is straightforward and satisfying. You clear rocks and stumps, till soil, plant seasonal crops, water them daily, and harvest for profit. You can raise cows, chickens, sheep, and horses, taking care of them each day to produce milk, eggs, and wool. The mine is a major feature, where you dig deeper each visit to find valuable ores and gems while managing your stamina. Building relationships with the 12 marriage candidates and other villagers is a big part of the game, with heart events that trigger as your friendship grows. There are seasonal festivals throughout the year that bring the community together. The remake adds quality of life features like being able to walk while eating stamina-restoring food and improved controls. Released in May 2025, Cattle Country is one of the standout farming and life simulation titles on Nintendo Switch this year, blending the freedom of open-world exploration with the laid-back rhythm of ranch life. Set in the rugged frontier, the game places you in charge of building a homestead from the ground up, managing crops, raising livestock, and shaping the land to suit your vision. What makes Cattle Country special is its balance between cozy daily routines and deeper storytelling. The frontier isn't just a backdrop, it's a living world filled with unique characters, quiet mysteries, and evolving relationships that shape your experience over time. Beyond farming, you can explore the wilderness, mine for resources, fish in mountain streams, or take part in events that tie the community together. Its warm visual style and immersive world design capture the spirit of a frontier, slowly transforming into home, making Cattle Country one of 2025's most engaging and heartfelt farming adventures.
Treasure for those with the skill and the strength to mine for it. Who knew a hunk of rock could mean so much to so many? Well, throw down roots, work the land, become part of a story that's as old as these hills, and part of this here community of settlers.
Story of Seasons. Grand Bazaar stands out in 2025 as one of the most charming and well-paced farming games on Nintendo Switch, offering a refreshing spin on the life sim formula. Set in the peaceful Zephyr Town, your main goal isn't just to build a thriving farm, but to help revive the town's once famous bazaar, turning it back into a bustling hub of trade and community. The gameplay flows through a satisfying routine, growing crops, caring for livestock, crafting goods, and preparing them for sale at the weekly market. Instead of simply shipping items off, you personally run a stall, interact with customers, and compete to draw attention to your booth, which adds a layer of strategy and liveliness rarely seen in farming sims. Outside the bazaar, you can form relationships with villagers, explore scenic areas, and take part in seasonal events that build a sense of belonging. It's a calm yet deeply engaging experience, celebrating growth, community, and the joy of building something meaningful from the ground up.
Yeah!
And that's our list of the top 15 best farming games on Nintendo Switch for 2025. Whether you want a cozy, relaxing experience, an action-packed adventure, or something you can play forever, there's a perfect farming game waiting for you on Switch. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch game lists and reviews. Thanks for watching.